Hello there, everybody. And today for Batman the Animated Series, I'm reviewing probably the best episode of the show, Heart of Ice. So this is the first appearance of Mr. Freeze in the show. And his origin is very different, because back in the comic books, Mr. Freeze was more portrayed as a goofy villain. Like, he just used a freeze gun and robbed banks, and that was really it. But this explores Mr. Freeze on a whole new level. And it's written by Paul Dini, legendary Batman writer. And this episode works really well because it's not just a Batman story. It's mainly about Mr. Freeze. So various crimes are happening around the city that are related to ice, as there's a mysterious man named Mr. Freeze who is wreaking havoc on Gotham, trying to steal stuff, but it's for a reason. And Batman is trying to track down and find out what is going on with Mr. Freeze until he finds out his origin. But Batman mainly finds out that Mr. Freeze's origin was that he was testing on his wife that had a disease, and he was trying to find a cure, but a greedy businessman came in, tried to stop him. But when Mr. Freeze tried to prevent him from attacking his wife, he ended up getting thrown into cryogenic something that caused him to only be in sub-zero environments, and now he wears a suit and he's going around Gotham to steal stuff to help save his wife. And that's what makes this episode really good. We have a villain that has somewhat of a relatable motive, we can understand what he's trying to do, but we don't exactly agree with what he's doing. He's doing bad things to save his wife. But when Batman does encounter him, it's first like a car chase. Mr. Freeze ends up freezing the roads, causing the Batmobile to swirl around it. But when Batman does encounter Freeze, he even says, "Freeze!" And I do like the line where he says, "That's Mr. Freeze." And he literally freezes Batman and one of his goons, the henchman, and he leaves him behind. But Batman decides to have a heart, and he actually takes the criminal back to the Batcave and throws him into an incubator to help him survive. It kind of even looked like the thing in Star Wars, the Bacta-Tank. But Mr. Freeze is doing various things. He's going to try to track down the businessman, but who caused his transformation. But Batman ends up getting a cold from Mr. Freeze's blast, and he ends up having to fight through a cold. Alfred even gives him chicken noodle soup, which will be relevant later. But apparently Mr. Freeze is going to break into a party where he's going to freeze the man responsible for everything. And he does catch up to him, and he freezes him with his gun. But Batman shows up in the nick of time, and it leads to a battle between the two. But it's all finished off when Batman literally froze I think he froze like chicken noodle soup on his helmet, causing it to break. I forgot to mention, but when Batman does investigate his origin, he even sees a tape of what happened. Mr. Freeze ended up blasting him and hanging him upside down, and we get a sequence where Batman's in some cold environment, and he ends up freeing himself and getting away from him. That's where he does catch up to Freeze at the party, and yeah, he ends up showing the evidence to Summer Gleason of everything the businessman did, and the footage And I think the episode ends with Freeze back in Arkham, looking at a snow globe of his wife, reflecting on everything that has happened, and I think that's the episode. So I'm sorry if I didn't go in everything in order for this episode, but this episode was really good. Like, it's a nice change of pace for the villain roster. Even the businessman, I forget his name, sorry, but he's voiced by Mark Hamill, and I just learned from Batman on the channel Awesome that they apparently it turns out that apparently Mark Hamill this was his first role in the show, but because they liked him so much, they had him be the Joker instead of Tim Curry. So that's a nice little fact there. But the guy who plays Mr. Freeze in this episode is really good. I couldn't imagine any other person voicing this character, and he went on to voice Freeze in Sub-Zero and the new Batman Adventures, even Batman Beyond, all throughout the DCAU. It's unfortunate he passed away. I don't know when, but rest in peace. But Heart of Ice is definitely a top Batman episode if you really like Mr. Freeze. I've been saying Freeze a lot, but Heart of Ice is a 10 out of 10 for Batman the Animated Series. Is the episode I think about when discussing this show for how good the writing is throughout this whole episode. I don't know what the next episode is, but I look forward to talking about it. So with that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.